What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I want to take a look at this Axios report, and this is talking about Senator Manchin. I'll show you guys the headline here. So Axios is reporting this. Manchin privately warns he won't support more than $1.5 trillion of Biden's $3.5 trillion bill. And so we're talking about the $3.5 trillion or the human infrastructure bill. And we're now hearing that Senator Manchin doesn't want to go higher than $1.5 trillion. And so that's why last week we probably saw him saying, hey, let's take a pause. Let's hold on, because he didn't want to go to that $3.5 trillion, even though he voted for the budget resolution. He doesn't want to go with the $1.5 trillion. So we're going to dive into this article and pull out some of the key points when it comes to Senator Manchin and how he feels about this $3.5 trillion bill. But first off, on this channel, we talk about news that matters. If that sounds like something interesting to you, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell notification. That way you'll get notified anytime we put out a video. And like always, if you see my name and a picture of me in the comments, make sure you also see a check mark next to my name. That check mark signifies that it's me. If you do not see that check mark, it's not me. It's someone trying to impersonate me. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to this article here. And so we already read the headline. And when it comes to Senator Manchin, he is usually hard to deal with. But we're in a situation right now where we need all 50 Senate Democrats to vote for this next stimulus package, or it's not going to go anywhere. So when we're looking at the $3.5 trillion bill, and we can call it a stimulus package because that's primarily what it is. I know people want to say second infrastructure, but our soft infrastructure, our human infrastructure. But the reality is this is another stimulus package. It's a $3.5 trillion bill. And so with Manchin talking now, we're starting to find out exactly how he feels. He doesn't want to go higher than $1.5 trillion. And he has some issues. And these are some of the issues. Manchin has voiced concern about Biden's spending $400 billion for home caregivers. So he has concern with spending $400 billion for home caregivers. He also has concern when it comes to the child tax credit, extending that child tax credit. He also has concerns when it comes to free community college, universal preschool, and child tax credits, so other child tax credits. So there are a variety of different things that he has issues with. Now, one of the things about Senator Manchin that I don't understand, and I'm not trying to talk bad about West Virginia, but West Virginia is one of the poorest states in the nation. And so a lot of these different programs that we see in this $3.5 trillion bill would help people in West Virginia. It would help his constituents. And so it's always interesting when I look at different things that Senator Manchin's saying. He's speaking like he comes from a state that has a lot of wealth and everyone's well off and no one needs some of these benefits. I mean, if we go back and look at some of the benefits that I just mentioned, we're talking about home caregivers. We're talking about child tax credit for families. We're talking about free community college. I think everyone could benefit from community college, at least if it's free. That would allow people to save some of that debt that you acquire when you go to college. I mean, I went to college for 4 years, actually 5 years. I was on that 5-year plan, and I accrued a lot of debt just going to college. And so I think a lot of this stuff would help. We're talking about a universal preschool. We're talking about more child tax credits. So this stuff is good stuff for every state, especially states like West Virginia. So it's always interesting when I hear Senator Manchin come out saying we need to pause and we don't want to spend this much money. And it's just interesting. And so dynamic scoring, this is another thing that he has an issue with. Now, this is something that Republicans have used in the past. And basically what it is we'll pass the bill now. And in the future, this bill should earn us some money and that money will pay off the bill. And so that's what this dynamic scoring is all about. So just looking down the line, we're seeing that Senator Manchin really is not going to budge. He wants it to be $1.5 trillion. We know that Senator Bernie Sanders is at $3.5 trillion. So looking at this, we have Senator Manchin at $1.5 trillion. We have Senator Bernie Sanders at $3.5 trillion. And Senator Manchin has not closed the door. So that's a good sign. Because he hasn't closed the door, that means that it's still open for negotiation. And maybe they can come to some type of a resolution when it comes to, maybe we'll be around $2 trillion, maybe $2.5 trillion. I don't know at this point, but it's obvious that Senator Manchin does not want to move forward with a $3.5 trillion bill. Now, he will have some support. Senator Sinema has already said that she doesn't want a $3.5 trillion bill as well. And so because she's saying that and he's saying that, you might even have more senators that come out, more Democratic senators that come out and say, yes, you know what? I don't like 3.5 trillion as well. We need to drop that number down. And so ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen. However, I just hope some of these programs that were mentioned are not going to be on the chopping block, because those are very, very important programs that need to stay in this bill. And so at this point, Senator Manchin, he is now privately speaking, and I don't know why he's privately speaking. If he feels that it should be 1.5 trillion, come out and tell the American people that it should be 1.5 trillion. Come out and tell West Virginia, you know what? We're going to have to cut back on these things, and we want it to be 1.5 trillion, and see how that goes. I don't like when politicians are speaking in private to reporters and not coming out and saying, this is what I believe. This is the reason why I want to pause. I think 3.5 trillion is too much. We need to be at 1.5 trillion, and here's why. Speak out, be a leader. That's what you're there for. You're there to represent the people, and if you're there to represent the people, you need to explain to the people why 1.5 trillion is better than 3.5 trillion. So I just wanted to do this quick little video. If you guys have any questions, post them down below. I want to know how you feel about this, so let me know how you feel about Senator Manchin's $1.5 trillion offer at this point, private offer, I guess you can say at this point. So that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you subscribe, because we're going to have a lot of information coming out in the next couple of weeks. This is kind of the time where they're doing the markups. So we have these different committee hearings that are going on. They're starting to actually put the bill together. So we had a blueprint at first. Now they're starting to put the bill together, and they're starting to find out exactly how much everything is going to cost. This is the important part. This is where we need to all be focused, and every day we'll probably have new information, different proposals that we're hearing. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell notification. Also like the video, and that's all I have for you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.